Staff and your nominated wardens will guide you to the nearest exits and out of the building. Emergency exits are located in the corridors behind the entry to the auditorium area. As a precaution, please keep your valuable belongings with you at all times. And finally, please switch off your mobile phones for the duration of the presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Hi everybody, and welcome to today's IBNM lunchtime session. This is the final session for 2009, so it's good to have a good roll-up. We wanted to make today's session a little bit more lighthearted, and so the world's worst presenters. But it is a session with a serious message, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy what we're about to roll out to you. Just to introduce our guests here today, we have Steve Howard and Mark De Silva. Steve's twice represented Australia at the World Championship of Public Speaking Finals in the USA. He did that in 1997 and in 1998, and I think they might be looking to go again very soon. And Mark is 3 times New South Wales Public Speaking Champion. He's represented Australia at the World Championship of Public Speaking Finals in Canada in 2008, and he managed his own public speaking company, Speak to Peak. I'm going to turn the lectern across to our guests today, and they're going to entertain you with the world's worst presenters.
How often have you seen a presentation and thought, that's perfect, exactly the way it should be done? More often we see a presentation and think, that's good, but I can think of ways to improve it. Then, occasionally, how often have you seen a presentation that has made you cringe with embarrassment or threatened to put you to sleep with boredom?
Today we explore those elements of public speaking that press entirely the wrong buttons. We will learn through observation and feedback what types of presenters make you cringe. We welcome those of you who have come in search of enlightenment.
But if you've come in search of political correctness, then I'm afraid you've stumbled into the wrong room. For today we explore the darkest recesses of what makes you cringe with embarrassment, shift in your seat with discomfort, and fall asleep with tedium. Today we present not the pretty poor presenters, but indeed the world's worst presenters. You will recognise the world's worst presenters because they will not be wearing a coat, and that is to signify their ineptness. But remember, these are caricatures, exaggerations, but you just might recognise some of their characteristics in speakers that you have seen.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we bring out the first of our world's worst presenters, we need your help. So after each of the world's worst presenters has presented, we're going to ask you to put on your critical hats on and tell us what the world's worst presenter did wrong. Okay, so you need to be a little bit observant, but more importantly, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So let's get the ball rolling, for here is the first of our world's worst presenters, the Master of Ceremonies. The Master of Ceremonies.
Sorry, I'll be with you in a minute. Hi, I'm so honoured to be here as your Master of Ceremonies, and I believe we have a great program lined up for you. If only I can find the correct order that my pages should be in. Yes, here it is. Tonight we will be entertained by the very gorgeous Bambi. Huh? Oh, sorry. How embarrassing. That's tomorrow night at the Cross. Just a moment. What are we doing tonight? Has anyone got a program? Yes. Here we are. Today we hear from Damien Snodgrass a well-renowned expert in pyrotechnics. He has a degree in economics, or is it physics? Anyway, it's some word ending in X. Oh. Just a moment, I'll just get these. Right, now, it's Damien Snodgrass. That can't be right. I think I've picked up the wrong bio. Well, I don't seem to have any information from Mr. Snodgrass, so I'll just introduce him and let him explain what he is all about.
He's not here yet, Steve.
He's what?
He's not here yet.
He's not here? Oh, that's right. He told me he would be late and to put him later in the program. Yes, that's right, I forgot. Well, what do we do now? Look, I'll just sort it out, so talk amongst yourselves for a while and I'll get my papers in order and figure it out. What's that, Mark?
I'll take over.
You want to take over? Okay. Mark's going to say a few words to you.
Thank you. Okay, that was the first of our world's worst presenters, the Master of Ceremonies. Now, I did ask you to pay attention and observe and tell us all the things that the Master of Ceremonies did wrong. We might contain it to about 5 responses. So we've got Grant, who's got a microphone, and Paul's got the other microphone. So if you have an observation, please raise your hand, and one of these gentlemen will provide you with the mic for your response. Don't be shy. Yes?
He's very disorganized.
Very disorganized, yes. There was no kind of way that all the shuffling of the papers, very irritating as well. Thank you.
I'm not one to talk, but his top button was undone and the tie was a bit loose.
Good to see some picky people in the crowd. Good observation. Thank you.
He doesn't have presence. He's distracted.
Yes, very distracting. No presence. Certainly not of a good MC should display. Professionalism. And the dress sense was professionalism as well, so thank you. Yes.
Massive speaker notes. Huge speaker notes.
Huge
big pieces
speaker notes.
of paper. Or,
Yeah.
Probably better off without them altogether.
Yes, he got lost a few times, didn't he? Thank you for that.
He was very unprepared.
Unprepared. Yes, absolutely. No idea what he was doing. One final comment?
His turning around with his bum to the audience was not very nice.
And you didn't like that?
Pays to advertise.
Thank you for that observation. That's very good. Okay, let's now look at, in summary, let's look at what you need to do to avoid being the world's worst master of ceremonies. Okay.
Does it have to face here, Mark?
I don't think it does. Okay, maybe I should be reading from my notes. Here we go. Try again. Great. Avoid being the world's worst master of ceremonies. First thing to do is know your audience. Why are they here and what are they expecting to hear? Now, we saw a good example of that, if I can pick on Paul. He had a few sessions with us beforehand to work out exactly what this audience expected to hear today, and that's what we discussed and catered our presentation to this audience. So that's what a good MC needs to do as well. Prepare your information. Now, certainly the world's worst master of ceremonies wasn't prepared. Quite distracted, no notes, or notes that were all over the shop. So make sure that you always prepare your information. The next thing to do is practice. Now, this seems so obvious, but it's so important. Even as a master of ceremonies, it's important that you practice beforehand. So when you come up here, you are smoothly delivering what the audience is expecting to hear. And lastly, be ready at all times to take control of the stage. Certainly the world's worst master of ceremonies wasn't ready, but it's important that you take control and set the scene for the audience so they can enjoy the rest of the presentation. Okay, Now let's look at a keynote address, which is our next presentation. Now, a keynote address is supposed to be the highlight of any evening. It's supposed to be motivational, perhaps entertaining, even enlightening. Let's see how such an important role can be mangled as we witness the world's worst keynote speaker.
Good evening. I have been wondering what to speak to you about today. 5 minutes ago, I really didn't have any idea what to talk about and was curious what I would say. Listening to the previous speaker, I finally got a few thoughts together and jotted down a few ideas. So, thank you for inviting me tonight and for the lovely meal. I love fish and it suits my diet perfectly. And what a lovely club you have here. I am sure that they are environmentally friendly and keep power usage limited. That would explain the poor lighting, which is making it hard for me to read my notes. Of course, I support your club's concern for the environment, and that's why I agreed to come along tonight. I detest the lack of government action to control greenhouse emissions. I will be doing everything I can to encourage change and will not rest for one moment, not one single moment, until action is taken. Now, let's have some dessert.